Good morning, Team McAuliffe. Today is Tuesday, March 1st, 2022, and we will now begin our day together with morning announcements. Please stand quietly and respectfully for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now have a moment of silence to think about what we are going to do to make the McAuliffe School a safe and happy place for all students and staff. Okay, so as I was looking at the birthdays yesterday, I was only looking at the February 28th birthdays because it wasn't February 29th, and I forgot that there is no February 29th this year because it's not a leap year. We do have a February 29th birthday. Isa in room 117 celebrated their birthday yesterday, today. Whenever you celebrate, Isa, when it's a leap year, I hope that you have a happy birthday. We also have some birthdays today. It is Tristan's birthday in room 8. And then in room 115, it is Alexia's birthday. Hope that both of you have great birthdays today. We also have a staff member celebrating her birthday. Down in room 12, Miss G is celebrating her birthday too today. Happy birthday, Miss G. Hope that everybody has great birthdays. Now today, if we look at our national days calendar, today is National Pig Day. Let's keep on with the curious creatures theme that we had at yesterday's Green Party and celebrate the pig today. Did you know that pigs are actually very smart animals? The first trained pig dates back to Dublin in 1772. It had a name, the learned pig, and it was able to tell time, count, and do all kinds of tricks in the streets and entertain people. So happy National Pig Day to you today. Yesterday, I explained what the March Book Madness bracket looked like and talked a little bit about it. Well, today we get to kick it off, and I am so excited as we get ready for our first matchup. The first book in that matchup is called Above the Rim, and it is going to be read by two of Lowell High School's basketball players. Let's check out Above the Rim.
Hi, I'm Stella Prokop, and I am captain of the girls' varsity basketball team.
Hey, I'm Fiona Haley, and I am a member of the girls' varsity basketball team. We want you to know that Above the Rim, How Elgin Baylor Changed Basketball, is the best book of the year.
Above the Rim, How Elgin Baylor Changed Basketball. On a steamy summer day in 1945, a boy and his brothers played stickball in the street. There were plenty of nice parks in Washington, D.C., where people swam or played tennis, basketball, and baseball. But the child was black, and those parks were whites only. Sometimes, late at night, when the city was asleep, the older boys tunneled far the padlocked fences and played there anyway. Things can change in time, the child knew. Time was important. That's why his name, Elgin, came from his father's favorite watch.
He was 14 when a hoop appeared in the field down the street, and this time there was no whites only sign. It wasn't fancy, just a place to play basketball, a fine game of skill and strategy and of running back and forth. A flat-footed game as level as the court itself. Now, Elgin and his friends could play it too. At first, they didn't have the right equipment, so they played with the tennis ball. Then, someone found a volleyball. Then finally, yes, a real basketball. Some of the older boys were very good, and they knew it. Hey, you see that shot I made? One bragged. That's nothing. You see that shot I blocked? Another boasted. Oh yeah? Well, you just try to slide by me. Another challenged. Elgin heard what they said, but bragging was not his style. On the court, he let his body do the talking. In one smooth move, like a plane taking off, he would leap, higher and higher and higher, as if pulled by some invisible wire, and just when it seemed he'd have to come down, no.
He'd hang there, suspended, floating like a bird or a cloud, changing direction, shifting the ball to the other side, twisting in mid-air, slashing, crashing, gliding past the defense, up, above the rim. And with a flick of his wrist, or roll off the fingertips, he put the ball in. The way he played was so different that people stopped what they were doing and watched. Where did he learn those moves? The other players asked. Elgin didn't have an answer. I don't know, he told them. It's spontaneous. Elgin grew taller and stronger. He jumped higher and leaped longer. His friends called him Rabbit. At All Black Springard High, Elgin brought his outdoor moves inside. He could score from anywhere on the floor. A hanging jumper from the corner, or a drive inside spin shot off the backboard.
He's unstoppable, the other teams complained. Go, Rabbit, go, the fans cried. As Elgin leaped, turned, and twisted toward the rim, or took on a defender one-on-one, gave a quick head fake, and reverse dunked over him. Whenever Elgin played, people stopped what they were doing and watched. After high school, Elgin wanted to go to college, but the DC colleges wanted whites only. You should come out west, said a friend who went to the College of Idaho. So, Elgin did.
It rained hard those first few days, but when the skies cleared, it was time for a game. And soon people in Idaho stopped what they were doing and watched. No one else plays that way, the coach declared. Where did he learn those moves, they wondered. Elgin didn't have an answer. I don't know, he told them. It's spontaneous.
That winter, Elgin led his college team to victory. And that winter, far away in Alabama, a black woman named Rosa Parks sat down on a city bus and refused to give up her seat to a white man. That was a victory too. When people learned about Rosa on the news, they stopped what they were doing and watched. Later, Elgin transferred to Seattle, where he led his team to the 1958 College Championship Finals. The newspapers wrote a lot about Elgin. They also wrote about the courage of the first black students in Arkansas to sit down in an all-white classroom. All across the country, people stopped what they were doing and watched.
In 1958, the Minneapolis Lakers chose Elgin Baylor first. Out of all the college players in the nation, Elgin Rabbit Baylor was now a professional athlete. But in those days, being in the NBA was not like it is today. Fans flocked to watch Major League Baseball. But with only 8 teams, the NBA had a hard time selling tickets. The players didn't make much money. They traveled long distances in loud clickety-clack trains and slept leaning over in their seats, their long legs jammed underneath. Sometimes they flew in made-over cargo planes. They played back-to-back nights and washed their uniforms in hotel bathrooms. They slept on beds that were too short. They played when they were injured or sick. Even so, Elgin played as hard as he could, and so did his Lakers teammates. Meanwhile, another team gathered in the basement of a church in Wichita, Kansas. They practiced sitting down and not fighting back, even if they were bullied and harassed. Later, they sat down at a whites-only lunch counter until they were served food. But change came slower elsewhere. That winter in West Virginia, when the Lakers needed a place to stay overnight, every hotel said, whites only. So Elgin and his teammates said, no thanks. The whole team checked into Edna's guest house, where anyone was welcome. They were hungry. Where could they eat? Downtown, all the nice restaurants were whites only. Elgin bought some cold food at the bus station and ate in his room.
That night, as the other players suited up and walked onto the court, Elgin sat down before the crowd without a uniform. Why isn't Elgin Baylor out there, the reporters asked. It's not fair, the fans complained. We paid to watch the whole team. But his coach and his teammates understood. They were with him at the hotel. They knew he'd been turned away at restaurants. I'm a human being, Elgin told them, and I want to be treated like one. Sometimes you have to sit down to stand up. And that's what Elgin did. The fans noticed, the newspapers noticed, and the NBA commissioner noticed. A few weeks later, he made a new rule. No NBA teams would stay in a hotel or eat in a restaurant that practiced discrimination. Elgin had already changed the way basketball was played. Now, by sitting down and not playing, he helped change things off the court too.
In 1959, Elgin was voted NBA Rookie of the Year. 2 years later, the Lakers moved to Los Angeles, California, where famous people seemed to be everywhere. Fame changed people. Elgin knew, but it didn't change Elgin. In one smooth move, like a plane taking off, he leaped. Higher and higher and higher, as if pulled by some invisible wire, and just when it seemed he'd have to come down, no, he'd hang there, suspended, floating like a bird or a cloud, changing direction, shifting the ball to the other side, twisting in midair, slashing, crashing, gliding past the defense, up, above the rim. And with a flick of his wrist, or a roll off the fingertips, he put the ball in. Wherever Elgin played, people stopped what they were doing and watched.
The
end.
Okay, so there's our first book for March Book Madness. Now, because I want to make sure everybody understands how the tournament works, we're going to play a second book today. Because Above the Rim is going up against A Cot in the Living Room. And so you're going to listen to both of those books and then pick which one you like better. A Cot in the Living Room is also being read by two Lowell High School basketball players. Let's check that one out.
Hi, I'm Gigi.
And I'm Lola, and today we're reading The Cot in the Living Room by Helinda Eunice Burgos and illustrated by Gabby D'Alessandro. This is the whole basketball team's favorite book.
Yes. I wish I could sleep on the cot in the living room, but my mama says it's only for guests. What's so great about the cot? My sister asked. I lowered my voice to whisper. It would be so much fun to have a whole living room to myself. I'll stay up, play, look at tiny cars outside, maybe watch some TV, and sneak into the kitchen for an extra cookie or a little dulce de leche. My sister shakes her head. I'd just like to sleep at night. On Friday, I helped my mama snap the sheets onto the comfy mattress. They're still warm from the dryer, and they smell like my bubble bath. Mama smooths over the top sheet until there's a wrinkle left. She finishes everything off with one of her handmade quotes and over fluffiest pillow. Who's coming tonight, I ask. Raquel. Boring. She never plays with me. Raquel's dad is working the night shift at a hospital, so she gets to sleep on the cot in the living room. Do you like dominoes? Papa asks. We can make a maze. Papa never lets me make a maze. No, thank you, Raquel says in a whisper. Will you keep the lamp on? Raquel asks. Don't worry, mi amor, Mama says. It doesn't get very dark in here. I wish my room had a big window to let the lights from the garage, from the George Washington Bridge. It's not fair. We can change the sheets again the next day. Adoris, Mom is singing tonight. She won't finish until 3 a.m., so he gets to sleep on the cot in the living room. He probably gets crumbs all over it again. Are you hungry, Papa asks? I can make you a snack. I'm not allowed to bring food into my room. Adoris shrugs. Mama packed this for me. Do you know my mom's goodnight song? I don't think Papito, Mommy says, but you can sing it to me, this little guy. He gets a snack in my toy? It's not fair. Little Lisa's Grandmother drops her off on Monday after dinner. She's cleaning offices all evening until way past my bedtime. So Lisa gets to sleep on the cot in the living room. I hope she doesn't wake up in the middle of the night again. Do you like cartoons, Papa asks. I can teach a channel, but I'm watching that. Lisa shakes her head. When her grandma peels her away, she sticks onto my mom like a cotton candy. I don't fit in this little bed, Preciosa, Mommy says, but I'll rub you back until you fall asleep. Okay.
Mommy turns the TV off and I go to my room where there is nothing to watch. It's not fair. No one comes over on Tuesday. Can I sleep in here tonight? I ask Mommy. But you have your own bed. I tell her that my sister snores, which is true. Mommy shrugs. Okay, she says. We put warm sheets on the cot and I smooth them over until there isn't a single wrinkle left. My parents kiss me goodnight and then turn out the lights. I hear their bedroom door close. There's nothing good on TV now, but that's okay. The night is going to be perfect because I'm finally sleeping on the cot in the living room. But this mushy pillow isn't mine, and there are monsters in here. Something is growling in the kitchen. Mamita, what's the matter? Thank goodness Mommy is back. She holds my hand and walks down the hall with me. We slip into my room, and I fall asleep to the music of my sister's snoring. It's Wednesday, and Raquel's dad is working the night shift again, so she has to sleep on the cot in the living room, all by herself. She must really miss him. It's not fair. There isn't much space in our room, my sister says, but there's just enough, I tell her. She agrees. The cot fits perfectly, and so does Raquel. The end. Thank you guys for watching.
Okay, so now that you've seen both of those books, what you'll do is choose which one you like better. And when we vote on March 10th, you'll pick which one of those two you want to see move on to round 2, where it will face off against another winning book in the bracket. This is so exciting. I can't wait to see which book Team McAuliffe crowns as this year's March Book Madness champion. Now, since it's Tuesday, we have Tuesday trivia with Miss Sargent, and Miss Sargent has a question for us. Let's hear it.
Good morning, boys and girls. Tuesday trivia here with Mrs. Sargent. Yesterday, for the Green Party, we had a curator who introduced us to many animals. One of the questions that she asked us was, which animal has the strongest bite in the animal kingdom? Once again, which animal has the strongest bite in the animal kingdom? Please give your answer to your teacher, and everyone, have a great day.
Oh, wow. I can think of a bunch of animals that I would not want to get bit by. Get your answers into your teachers. Teachers, give me the names of the students who got the answer correct. And tomorrow, we'll spin the wheel to find out who our winner is for this week's Tuesday Trivia with Miss Sargent. And now it's March. March means it's a whole new month to stay green. And guess what? St. Patrick's Day is in March, and that's all about wearing green. So let's all stay green in the month of March so that everybody can be at March's Green Party. This is a fresh chance for the entire school. So I think that's all of our announcements for today. Remember, McAuliffe students are stars. That means we strive to do our best. We take responsibility. We're always positive and kind, and we respect ourselves and others. If everybody remembers to be a star today, then we'll have a terrific Tuesday. Have a great day, McAuliffe School.